Hello friends, welcome to Manchi Margam channel. Today we'll discuss about how retail formats fail in mature retail markets. In India, this retail business is a complicated task that has to be achieved with a regulatory framework in place. Most of the retail businesses or huge retail chains have to deal with socio-economic and cultural aspects of a place or a certain place which they set up their businesses. Many people don't focus on issues which are vital for the businesses or business to succeed. But most of the big retailers, including mega big chains, focus on marketing their brands and products and marketing their facilities. But the devil lies in culture and socio-economic condition of that city or a place where the business is set up. Most people ignore the key factors which can make or break their business. In India, as we see in foreign countries, big retailers perish in a decade or so. Why is the question most big chains ask but don't focus on problems. They don't focus on problems, but they keep on asking questions which are irrelevant to their business. Most big retail chains conduct costly surveys before they set up their office space or big retail chains. I am amused by the way they set up their retail chains in India. I have been a spectator regarding this retail business in India since 20 years. I have written tons of posts on Big Bazaar and Kishore Biani and sent lot of letters to regulatory authorities regarding his conduct and the way he does business. Big Bazaar was a unique example that was termed as successful without knowing intricacies of how Kishore Biani used to do business. I fought for 15 years digging out how Kishore Biani used to conduct his business. His business was totally ethically wrong. But he managed to manage media, manage politicians. He managed the whole system in such a way that they believed that he was the retail king of India. But unfortunately, He was biggest fraudster, retail fraudster of India. I wrote tons of posts regarding the way he does business in India. Coming back to topic of how big retail chains fail in India. The reason of their failure, their impatience to enter into Indian markets, their impatience to capture Indian markets. They are lured by 130 crore plus population of India. But one fine point they forget about India is India is a diverse country. Diverse by color, by ethnicity or ethnic population, but diversity in religions, diversity in cultures, diversity of languages, diversity of ethics, and diversity in faith. So, geopolitical and separations are a lot in India. Geographically, the terrain is different. Culturally, people are different. Religion-wise, there is diversity. Income parity is out of proportion. There are improper calculations while doing survey. So, entering Indian markets is not everybody's cup of tea. 99 or 98% of retailers, branded retailers, fail in India. Why? None has got a serious answer to this question. I have been asking these questions to most of the retailers who have entered India and are doing business in India. Most of the retailers or foreign retailers who dream of setting up a shop in India forget some important ethical, religious, cultural and socio-economic points while they set up business in India. Metro, a German retailer who has got global footprints all around the globe, failed in India. IKEA, a furniture to luxury goods manufacturer, a Swedish furniture giant, set up a shop in India and expected out of the world response to their global brand. But unfortunately, foreign brands over-expect when they enter India. Foreign brands are flying in clouds when they enter India. They think that their brands will do a magic in India and profits are not a big issue. But when a big multinational retail chain sets up its shop in India, it always fails. It always fails. Reason, as I told them, they don't focus on diversity. India is a diverse country. India is a diverse country. Diversity cannot be taken easily, especially in a country like India. When you see Indian markets, the markets are socio-religious in nature. When you enter Old City, you will find a certain type of shops in Old City in Hyderabad. When you see some shops in Malakpet or Andhra dominated areas, a different type of retail stores can be found in these regions. If you go to shift to West Hyderabad, you will see a cosmopolitan nature and different kind of grocery shops. So diversity is common, and diversity can be found for every 5 to 6 kilometers in a city like Hyderabad. It is not a small issue. The issue is big, and most people ignore this diverse idea. We have seen metro failing in front of our eyes. Reliance Industries took over that metro by paying a little bit premium to let that German retailer escape from India. We have seen how Kishore Biyani, biggest fraudster of India, took tons of money from domestic banks and left them in lurch without any shame. And we used to call him the king of retail in India. Unfortunately, we still do the same thing to existing retailers. The best latest entrant is Lulu Mall. He is a well-known retailer. He is a well-known hypermarket giant in West Asian markets. Especially in our Arab world, he is a well-known face and well-known brand. But that does not guarantee him success in India. Birlas have entered retail, Ambanis have entered retail, Tatas have entered retail. All these three giants are engaged in a battle for supremacy in retail business in India. But being domestic players, they are unable to understand Indian customers' mindset in first place. That is the beauty of Indian markets. A Marwadi can remain as a Marwadi. But if Marwadi tries to dominate retail scene in India, he will fail. The culprit is ignoring diversity of India. The beauty and dangerous nature of this diversity is making every retailer piss in his pants. Indirectly, this diversity is helping small-time retailers or small shops, small grocery stores, a small setup. is ideal setup for Indian condition. But when big retail or hyper giants like Metro and Lulu malls enter India, they are bound to fail. Yesterday, Lulu Mall has set up a shop in Panjagutta area near Amirpet. His assumption is it's a busy area and it is geographically located in between the financial districts, that is Madhapur, Gachibowli, and a populous region like Panjagutta, Amirpet. He thinks that these two advantages will work for Lulu Mall. But unfortunately, he is not aware that the people of Hyderabad are unevenly and unjustly economically secure, or the economic weakness is not found on faces of Hyderabadi people. By looking at face or looking at his style, you cannot make out that this person is rich or not, or financially strong or not. People hide their financial weaknesses in Hyderabad very well. They are trained from childhood to hide weaknesses, to be in stealth mode, to be in a mode where they feel or they will make you feel secure with their attitude. But in reality, the Hyderabadi people may look rich, but they are not rich. May look poor, but they are not poor. Their attitude and their behavior can fool anyone. Such is the nature of Hyderabad people. And most people get lured into this populous city, but ultimately they will fail in retailing their products. Entering into a city is easy, but conquering their minds is a difficult thing to do for even big retail chains. Lulu's fate is sealed. He will fail. Not because he is financially weak or he has not invested right amount in his products, but Lulu will fail because the amount he has invested in setting up a retail format is humongous or huge. That will ultimately kill his business. When you set a hypermarket, for few months you will store most of the products that you imagine that you can sell in Hyderabad. But after 4 or 5 months, when you find out that 70% of the items you have stored in your showcases or freezers don't sell easily in Hyderabad, finally you have to shut 60 to 70% of your hypermarket and keep it empty. When you realize that people are completely different in Hyderabad from what you imagined, you can imagine the amount of money he has put in to set up this mall. Ultimately, the interest rates on the property, on the assets he has invested, will eat up his margins. will completely eat his margins and make his business redundant. Most of the retail giants who have entered India get lot of footfalls, but those footfalls are not converted into customers because they have misread markets. They have misread Indian markets. They have misread South Indian market. They have misread Hyderabadi people. They have misread people of Mumbai. They have misread people of Noida and Delhi. Every place is culturally diverse. Ethnic population is different. Religious beliefs are different. The product consumed are different. So, the ultimate result is failure. Everybody's strategy is right, but politically, socially, economically, they are wrong. Lulu Mart supermarkets or hypermarkets plan to set up their shop in Visakhapatnam. Initial plan was to set up their shop in Visakhapatnam. But when they saw that the political thing is a spoil sport in Visakhapatnam, they shifted their base from Visakhapatnam to Hyderabad, where the competition is waiting for them in the form of D-Mart, more or small retail chains, wholesale markets, Ganj, what we call Ganj, or small-time supermarkets are all waiting for this big hypermarket to set up shop and fail. Everybody is waiting for Lulu to fail. Everybody used to wait for Metro to fail. Whenever a foreign retail giant steps in, he is bound to fail. And even our domestic retail giants like More, D-Mart, Reliance are unable to tap this complicated Indian market. You can imagine when domestic retail giants are clueless about Indian people, how can foreign giants capture Indian markets? My simple question from past 20 years is simple, and I have made it very simple. Do you have any idea about people of India and their habits? There is a close link between religion and habits. The moment you ignore these fine points, especially in India, you are bound to fail. We'll discuss some more points about this. Why big retail chains, people with deep pockets, people who are uber rich, people who set up brand retail hypermarkets of chains in India fail. There are tons of reasons to fail. There are hundreds of reasons which they have ignored, and we will discuss all these topics in next series, in my next video. Until then, namaste.